Welcome to Chris VV Journey, where I take you to a trip to VV and beyond. Always as an adventurer, never as financial advisor, so please invest with caution. Today we will take a look at RECUR. That was one of my most promising projects turned into I don't know project, and we will talk about it today. Let's go. So, what's up with RECUR? If you don't know, RECUR is a company that is a little bit similar to VV because they hold a lot of IPs. And I guess the difference is they don't try to create collectibles, but they rather call it experiences. And these experiences so far looked like something in the midst of gamification. Yeah, I still have my problem with what they call gamification. It hasn't changed yet. So, if you haven't following it all, like in RECUR, they amassed quite a bunch of money. Like they got 50 million in funding, and even before that, they already had a few million in funding. They have Gary Vee. They have one of the guys that invented the ETHEREUM blockchain. Jason Derulo, for what it's worth, like everyone thinks it's great that Jason Derulo is there. I have no idea why that is. And they hold some IP rights. Mostly the rights I have seen they have is from Viacom CBS company that's also intertwined with Paramount. So there's a lot of IP there. People always thought they had way more IPs, but that were IPs from the company, from one of the co-founders, for their print services. Like they were printing shirts, mugs, whatever, and they were holding a lot of IPs. And most people thought that was IP that already is owned by RECUR also. And I always said, no, that's not, like, that's different. It's different if you want the IP to release NFTs or if you would just want to put images on a shirt, right? And sometimes they didn't even, I don't know if they did hold the IP, but they were printing for the companies themselves, like they were doing it for like Warner Brothers. So that was a little bit different there. And one of the major things we had happening now is that it had two co-founders, and one of the co-founders left. And there was no word on that for weeks, maybe months, but I guess weeks, okay? So that was tough. Like, that's not transparent. And I had a problem with that. And one of the big problems is that was the guy whose family business actually had the connection to all these IPs. But we finally had an AMA. They were talking about it. No, they weren't really addressing that. They only said they split ways. They did part. Awesome. I would have loved to get some more information after all this time. I understand. Sometimes there's reasons, like you don't talk about it. But I feel like I'm invested in this company. And I mean, those are experiences. It's like you buy product. That doesn't mean you actually invested in the company. But we did invest by buying that RECUR Pass, because that's a piece you bought in advance, not knowing what it is going to be able to do, except of a lifetime extras that were promised in the RECUR space. So there was nothing specific about it. So that's how they made a lot of money. Like, these things were going out for $300. They sold like 70,000 of them. Do the math. That's quite a few millions. Everyone was waiting for something to happen, and then we had something happen. We had NFTU. So they did plan to come out with Hello Kitty first, and I wasn't a big fan of that idea. I mean, Hello Kitty, it's not my thing, right? But everyone thought, okay, Hello Kitty is grossing quite a lot amounts of money. It's one of the biggest brands in the world for whatever reason. And so people were looking out for that. And then it switched it up because Hello Kitty wanted to bring something more deep, more profound, and we got NFTU instead. NFTU is the basketball league, the college basketball league. Right now the floor prices for these things are at $2.64. For now, it's not so easy to get your money out of RECUR. You can do it. I'm in Germany, so that's a little bit more complicated for me, but there's quite a bunch of fees involved. So yeah, it's not so great. So NFTU, I did join because I do like basketball, but I'm not that much into basketball, right? There's still... Oh, I didn't change. Wait. So now you can see it. So I wasn't too much into basketball, but it's like still my favorite sport. But I wasn't watching games or whatever recently. So I got in more for the experience, like let's see how does NFT work. And that was something they said in an AMA before that. They said, go into it, see how everything works so that you're prepared for the next drop. So that's what I did. I bought a few cases, not too much, luckily. So, and the thing was, a lot of stuff happened. The gist of it is, you bought cases and what was in those cases usually isn't worth the case. Like these gold ones here, you can see the big one is $1,000, $700, $650, $575, and then we go down to $350, and from that all these gold ultra rare ones are below $500, while the case with one of them in it was $500. It's even worse with the rare cases and the uncommon cases. So that was messed up. In the end, everyone realized you were better off not buying the cases at all and just buy on the aftermarket. It's way cheaper. I think this is like the only thing that did make sense, like to buy an ultra rare. If you get Jaylen Brown, then you were well off. Otherwise, you would sadly go quickly into the negative. So what they did in the AMA, they talked about it. So they it's changed a lot, and that is dope, right? They got into second season. They took away all the cases that were left. They're out of the market. You can't buy those cases anymore. They ditched the idea of selling more cases at all for this season. And they brought challenges. And challenges, that's the thing, right? Challenges is what they call a game. And I was talking about that already. Like they say it's a game. For me, it's not a game. They say buy a lot of those and buy a lot of that, and then you can burn it, and then you get something else that is even more rare. And that's what they call a game. It's just kind of collecting. I don't see the big experience in there. People have fun with it, not complaining about that, but calling it a game, it's, I don't know. In my opinion, that's not gaming. Like, it's not. I don't pay and have fun afterwards. I'm supposed to have fun while I'm paying. So that's weird in my opinion. But whatever. I really wasn't lucky in here. At this point, I was buying multiple cases and I was opening cases and I was keeping them closed to sell closed ones. But I was fed up with the whole thing. I was listening to the last AMA and I was fed up with the NFTU stuff. And that is not because the AMA was bad news. That's totally not the point. I guess for NFTU fans, the news were pretty good. Pretty solid stuff, pretty nice ideas. It just got into... It evolved in something that needs you to be on your toes and look out for stuff and buy new stuff and get really involved in this thing. And I don't have that. I don't have much fun with NFTU. The main idea I had was maybe keep the NFTU stuff, wait for it like a year, see if it raises in price, and maybe then sell with a profit. But at this point, I was just annoyed with NFTU. I wanted to get out. So I opened all my cases. I threw everything on the marketplace. I sold like half of the stuff I had already, or more than half. I sold more than half I had. And it's just so sad to see the amount of money I made from selling more than half of my stuff. It's so bad. I am at easy 60-70% loss, I guess. Yeah, not 70, but maybe 60, 50, 60% loss. But I just didn't have fun anymore. Like that was the point that took me over the edge. I didn't have fun at it. I didn't see after the AMA that what they were planning were going to be fun for me. For everyone who's in that and has fun, good for you, great. But I didn't see that going to be much fun for me. I also don't expect these things to go up in price much. I don't have that faith in the company that they run business so great, because look, they had great plans, but they still do the same they did before, which I was criticizing before also. I was saying from the beginning, like, everyone was excited when they said, yeah, we could do 3D, we could do AR, we could. And I was like, that's just a could. That's like that's basically saying they have no idea what they are actually doing at this point. And I was right. Like this is where I was 100% right. They didn't know what they didn't have a finished plan. There wasn't everything mapped out what they're going to do. It was just going with it. Like when they sold us the passes, they didn't have an idea how to actually bring value to the passes. Just like, let's give it some attributes and later on we can pass some benefits to it. And that's something I don't really like about this company. And the thing is, now they lost their co-founder, so there's only one founder left. How am I supposed to think that one guy is going to do the work that two weren't able to do? If you get my point. I mean, let's face it, I could be totally wrong. Maybe that one guy was the problem and that's why things didn't go further and things got messed up a little bit along the way. That's possible too. And then I'm just wrong. But at this point, I don't care. I don't want to waste my time on NFTU. I don't enjoy it. That's the main point. I don't enjoy it. I don't see that major upside coming at any point. Maybe in 10 years, I don't care. But that's the thing. I don't care what's happening in 10 years with this. I'm not going to hold it. So I'm just selling it all off. And there's two ways how this could work out. They are working. I heard that. They are planning to do different challenges where you actually don't burn your stuff, but you have to do something else. That's interesting. Maybe that's more fun. I don't know. So they are actually working on the project. That's a good thing. What they didn't were talking about a lot lately were the Star Trek mint. And the Star Trek mint was a catastrophe. Like, that's all you can say. It was a catastrophe. But they did actually mention it in the AMA. So what I did is, why I sell all my NFTU stuff is because like the floor prices here are down, but the floor prices are also down on Star Trek. Like the floor price is $130. That were from ships that were in a $250 box. And they sold like, what was it? I guess 8,000 pieces, almost 9,000 pieces. So 9,000 individual chips. And they had an idea, and they will have the community decide if they're going to get with this idea or not. And that is pretty dope. Let's give them that. That's pretty dope. And the idea is that people that hold a constitution class, because all the classes you see here on the page, those are the ones from the public mint. And the public mint, they wanted to sell 15,000 and they sold 3,500. And then nobody wanted to buy them anymore. Roughly 3,500, maybe 4. And they only sold out the 5,000 pieces for the pass holders. So the public mint doesn't mean pass holders didn't buy it. It only means that pass holders did get the special ones and then also bought public minted pieces. Now what they said is the ships that were in the Admiral's pack for the pass holders, that's the Constitution class ships like the original Enterprise was and the movie Enterprise, like these two here. So they have the idea that you are able to trade this off. You can trade one of these ships off and you get two of the other ones that are not Constitution class. That's interesting because that means, well, you could spend, like, what's the cheapest Constitution here? So the cheapest one is $161. That's $100 cheaper than it was at the mint. So you could buy that, and if they stay on course. If the community decides it is a good idea, then you can trade this off and you get 2 different chips. And these chips, I mean, as far as I understood it, they will come from the mint they had running. So that means it could be, there's a chance that you get a rare piece, a really rare piece by trading that off. So I hope I can make enough money from NFTU so that I can buy one of these ships. I mean, I don't even care. If I don't make enough for a Constitution class ship, maybe I get with another ship. So I have a Star Trek ship from here and maybe run with this. They were talking a lot about how great their gaming system is and that these are awesome people that created awesome games. I still have to wait for that. Look, my problem here is you pay $250. You don't bring as much to the table as a $20, $40, $50 game that you buy for your Xbox or whatever. These games are just real games. You pay them and then you have a lot of fun and you get a big product. And here you have an NFT. Like you actually get an image. That's all you get, an image. You don't get the 3D piece, you just get an image. I know NFT people love to say, yeah, but there's a possibility that at one point you have a 3D thing flying in the metaverse. I don't see that here. I simply don't see that. I don't think that's the idea here. I don't even think, like the way they plan, I don't think they have that planned out. I don't think these ships, these actual 3D models are on some kind of hard drive. If they are, correct me, please let me know, but I doubt they did that. I think they only created these images and that's it. And the game is just like the challenges in NFTU, buy stuff and trade that off for other stuff. I don't know if these prices will ever get higher for regular ships. Of course, the rare ones, they are expensive. They cost a few $100s, a lot more. But yeah, I don't see this going up in the near future. And for me, it's like, because it's so complicated to get my money out of RECUR, I just feel way better having it in a Star Trek piece because I enjoy Star Trek. So because I enjoy Star Trek, I might be able to enjoy these challenges they talk about because that's my thing, right? That's what I enjoy. So they only just have to not fuck it up. Just have a good run with it. Be decent. And then I would have fun. We will see if that works out. Like I said, I'm not really that faithful in the company. Simply because, look, when I invest in a company, I invest in the people. And when half of them runs away, and you don't get a word, that's like, that's not the best thing. Just saying. I would love to hear why he's off, and I would love to hear some finished plans by the team. It's always might have, could have, maybe. Yeah, great. I mean, they always say they listen to the community, which is good. Well, don't get me wrong. It's great they listen to the community, but I mean, you should have a plan, right? Before the community tells you everything. That's how things work out way better, in my opinion. But we'll see. So, yeah, at the end of the day, let's take a look at the passes. Oh, that is great. You can't actually look at the passes again because my website is crashing again. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I have this problem when I try to do these videos. They just get lost. So the floor price on the passes is $120. As I told you earlier, it was $300 to get a pass. So that's like a minus of 40%, roughly. Yeah, awesome. I mean, at least they had an all-time value of 7 million. So that's a lot of money made. Yeah, I mean, it's a great time to collect these now if you want to have them and you have faith in the company and think these will be worth so much more in the future. Then it's a great time. I mean, maybe even a good time to wait more until they crash even more and then buy them up. I know some people that do it. Good luck to them. I was at the point almost thinking about selling it, but yeah, I will keep it for a while. Let's see what the company does. Maybe get a Star Trek ship. Maybe there is fun to have to see what's going on. But yeah, I'm not so keen on buying new packs of whatever product they bring. If they bring Hello Kitty, I don't know if I will participate. I don't know if I think there's any benefit to gain from that. Like, you need to be super lucky to get something in those packs that is actually worth something. So yeah, we'll see. That's going to be it. I don't think there's much more I need to cover on RECUR. Let me know what you think. Are you invested? What are you doing? I'm totally interested to hear what you have to say. Like, did I miss something from the AMA? There were a lot of things attached. What I found interesting in the AMA was that someone suggested that pass holders that have multiple passes should have a bigger say in what the company is doing when they hold these polls. And that is interesting, because I said, yeah, that's a good idea. And I was like, how's that a good idea? Like, do you want to have some people that actually decide the fate of whatever is coming? I don't know. That doesn't sound fair. I mean, of course I have to have this opinion because I only own one. But I don't know. I think the passes did have the problem, what I said earlier, that they give so much perks to people that hold them that people from the outside are not that interested to come in. With Star Trek had so many problems with such a short announcement, not knowing their target audience, because of course they were not really ready for NFTs. That would have needed so much more work. So I don't know if this is something that can be saved, but whatever. That's it for now. Let me know what you think. See you. Bye bye.